I'm in a New York state of mind.
June 1990, a Bronx-born kid who's played his share of big venues rocks Yankee Stadium.
That was pretty wild. I never imagined playing Yankee Stadium like a Yankee.
Billy Joel is generally recognized as the first pop star to play a major concert at the stadium, a distinction he still finds humbling.
I mean, I've had a couple of hits, but not like Babe Ruth.
Pink Floyd, U2, and various music shows have also headlined at the stadium. But for 80 years, the one entertainment constant at Yankee Stadium has been the movies. For brief moments in time, a galaxy of stars has taken center stage at the house that Ruth built.
Babe Ruth walks over, puts his arms around Gary's shoulders, and here they are, the heart of the murderers row of the New York Yankees.
No one's more familiar with this link between the stadium and the movies than diehard baseball fan and Real Talk co-host Jeffrey Lyons.
Well, Babe Ruth played himself in Pride of the Yankees, and you see Gary Cooper in Pride of the Yankees batted right-handed in real life, so they flipped the negatives. It worked because at least he was batting his natural way.
Mickey, you saw that pitch. It was a ball, wasn't it?
It looked like it.
You're out of the game, Mandel.
What?
Touch of Mink is funny because to see Mickey and Yogi and Maris sitting there between Cary Grant and Doris, they talk about when worlds collide. Few people realize that the FBI story has a scene really filmed at Yankee Stadium, really shot during a Giant game.
Here it is.
William Bendix didn't look like Babe Ruth, certainly didn't swing like Babe Ruth, and apparently when he was taking batting practice when they were filming, there were some people in the stands and they were yelling, "Fraud, fraud, you're awful, you're terrible."
You can always tell when I'm in New York.
Much as I like Kevin Costner, and he knows this, I thought it was a big vanity piece. The Cameraman is one of those movies that gives you an idea of the vastness of Yankee Stadium, because Buster Keaton is shown running around the bases doing something any kid today would do.
Good evening. Tonight, romance comes to Yankee Stadium.
If you want to have a preserved image of Yankee Stadium, this is one of the best examples. Yankee Stadium is an incredible character, an incredible setting in any film. It's a director's dream.
We're walking into the most exclusive part of not only Yankee Stadium, but any sports arena for that matter. It's called Monument Park, and there is no other like it.
Tony Moranti's stadium tour ends here, just beyond the outfield wall, home to 17 retired numbers, from Gehrig to Guidry. Plaques for Yankee icons like current stadium announcer Bob Shepard and the victims of 9/11. And of course, those monuments: Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, and Miller Huggins.
Do you think there's ghosts here in this ballpark?
Don't you? Look at them. They're all around us right here.
In right field, Tarasco going back to the track, to the wall. And what happens here? He contends that a fan reaches up and touches it. But Richie Garcia says no, it's a home run.
This is definitely a place that you feel like there's some other people there.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
He got up in front of Yankee Stadium and said he felt he was the luckiest man in the face of this earth. And he meant that. He meant that.
I sat beside Lou Gehrig's wife at Yankee Stadium. I won't pretend I know much, but I do know I was sitting beside a very brave woman. Eleanor Gehrig didn't cry, but all around us, women and men were openly sobbing. Rosaline Doherty, New York Daily News.
I've often wondered how a man who knew he was going to die could stand here and say that he was the luckiest man in the world. But now I think I know how Lou Gehrig felt.
The Mick was over there signing autographs, and the house was electric. And I reached out and I touched his shoulder. And I remember running home, and I took out my glove, you know, and I rubbed it in the glove. You know, I just wanted some of that stardom to fall off on me.
There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run.
Something just takes over in that place in the late innings. It's larger than life.
More than 58,000 jam Yankee Stadium on Babe Ruth Day to pay homage to the famous Sultan of Swat.
There's been so many lovely things said about me.
The first time I went to the Hall of Fame in 1970, I picked up the phone and said, "Hear Babe Ruth's voice." And I picked up the phone. I never heard his voice till then. And I put it up to my ear, and I was horrified. And my mother grabbed the phone, she put it up to her ear, slammed it down, and then went to the curator and said, "Get that thing off that."
God shed his grace on thee.
And I found out from a cab driver. The cab driver says, "That's something about that Munson." And I says, "Yeah, he's a hell of a player." He says, "What, you didn't hear? He got killed last night in a plane crash."
And to see people with the tears coming down their cheeks, it was very emotional.
Look at them out there on a day when they buried their team captain and leader and the hero, Bobby Mercer.
It turned out to be one of my best games on the worst day of my life, to tell you the truth.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
There isn't anything anyone could say that day or in subsequent days that would remove the grief.
The proud twin towers that once crowned our famous skyline no longer stand, but our skyline will rise again.
It's interesting, in Hebrew, the word for darkness and the word for dawn are exactly the same, because it tells us that there is darkness, but if you hold on to each other and that moment and to memory, you can also look forward to a new dawn. Shachar.
It's what Carnegie Hall is to music. I mean, it is that special.
Clearly, Yankee Stadium says New York.
But the old stadium will give way to a new one right next door after a final papal visit and baseball all-star game later this year. This historic real estate to become a park where new generations can play and dream.
I don't know, it's like saying goodbye to an old friend.
As she does, Linda Ruth Tissetti is launching a petition drive urging every big league team to retire her grandfather's number 3. She also hopes fans will long remember those who made this place unforgettable.
They'll live in the new stadium because any house that holds the Yankees is still the house that Ruth built.
If, as Oscar Wilde said, memory is the diary we all carry with us, then our Yankee Stadium diary will be forever filled with vibrant entries of many unforgettable moments at this New York icon.